Another, like,
I don't know.
type project with our
Yeah.
DJ.
I don't know, like the one by that.
People have a problem.
How are you?
But something,
That's
a
why
photo.
Well,
They want to
that
charge
was
us for
nice,
the
but
upgrade,
it
but it gives us
gives, yeah,
shitty
it
things
gets
to
to
put.
be down there at night.
You know?
The mayor wanted to talk about it,
Okay.
so we have to
Invite you.
get together, so
Okay.
Town needs more lighting.
Okay, Leah.
Oh,
It
but
says
it's- yeah,
record
that's
us,
right.
so,
Hey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so it's automatically recording then, and then.
They're switching up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The heck's this?
Yeah, what happened?
Press the little camera up there.
Yeah, I'm normally down there.
They're switching up.
And then-
Yeah, you're over here.
I
Adriana's using here. I've been this close to Kevin in a while. That's all right. I'll be back.
I'll be here if you need me.
Adriana, are you, do you guys have the Cafe di Manila, or is that not your building? Cafe di Manila? No, no, never mind.
That store is doing really well.
I understand as much, yeah.
People travel from Westville
Really?
places. Yeah, because I was there, I was like kind of surveying, like all these people coming in taking photo, and I asked one of the ladies, she said she came all the way from Westfield.
Oh.
Mhm. That's
Yeah,
cool.
we got some calls on it, not.
Did you
not-
do it? Am I doing it? Right.
They know
Um,
the place.
Okay.
I don't know how to
You want,
spell it.
how do I-
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
don't come up, but like for now, like, or, yeah. okay, we can do that. So one. and
Oh,
then-
all right, I guess we gotta get started.
I think so.
It's except climb around.
We want to focus on this, because this is all the people who are.
Is that right?
Yeah,
I see, I see,
Uh-huh.
yes.
I knew he was coming.
And you know, the usual.
We're on, are we recording?
We are recording.
You can kick us off with a roll call, okay?
All right, meeting calls to order,
Yeah.
on your roll call. Beth Hackaway,
No, but.
Harlan Chan.
Here.
Natalia Clayman.
Yeah.
Chris Edwards,
Yeah, most.
He's here.
Yeah,
He's
he's here.
here.
I just heard.
Here.
Randy Pitts. Adriana Popovich.
Here.
Kevin Sluka, here. Rick St. Pierre,
Here.
Pat Stevens.
Here.
Oh, there it is. So we're following on TV.
You okay with our electronics?
When Chris spoke, it was very quiet and I was afraid it was going through that speaker, so.
Via meeting agenda.
Welcome to February, everybody. Thanks for coming out. January was busy.
This is yours.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I apologize.
As we all expected. And we're into the semi-quiet, very short-lived, semi-quiet period where we can. I know it's not quiet because we're now in full steam planning for all of the spring events. So deep breath. We'll get through it. We have a lot of work ahead, but I'm sure we can get there. I'm hoping everyone has had time to review the minutes from the last meeting. If there's no questions or discussions, I'd love a motion to approve.
I'd second.
All right. All in favor? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Infrastructure Committee reports. Would you like to take that one, Kevin?
Yeah, PSC&G, this week is not a good week for them. So they're on standby the whole week. I will tell you, just by forecasting, they're never gonna get through what they think they're gonna get through at this point. So the good thing is we allowed them, in the beginning, we were fortunate that we said, you're gonna take baby steps and fix as you go, that's what type of thing. So that's the good thing, is so our planning was good for that. But this week, they're gonna be off this week and they'll reconvene next week depending on accumulations of weather. So that's where we're at.
Kevin, how can we address or curtail or communicate parking, whichever blocks they're on when people come to park, especially on a Friday night, restaurant town, get a ticket or towed, because it's not really being, I don't know, all the parts are together. So how can we stop that message, or at least address that message that says, hey, I came to town, I didn't see the sign, I should have seen the sign, I was in town hall, my car's towed, and now I don't want to come back to that town. So I just think
Just maybe, yeah, I'll reach out from tomorrow, Rick. I don't know that anything.
Are you late?
I don't know either yet. That's all. I'm just saying that I've heard that. I just want to communicate that to the board. I just think it's a bad message that if someone's coming in and they get towed, can we do some preventative measures for that?
We did some social media
Mhm.
outreach on that, sharing the maps that are, or the map. And then we have been including it in our weekend email as well, just to alert folks to the map itself, the parking locations and the lots rather. So we have been sharing the information repeatedly on our end as much as we can with the, with the tools we have.
Well, I think like even the retailers affected in that area, they could probably communicate it better. But I just think it's a little bad optics when we have the police, coming down the street with the speakers on, like it's a get off the street, you will be told. It's just not, we're in a retail area, So if we could avoid that somehow, that would be great. And, we could talk about solutions, but we don't have the time right now, but just it needs to be acknowledged,
I have a meeting tomorrow with Ballers, who's also gonna be working in the FID.
Yeah.
So they work on behalf of New Jersey American Water, and they're in charge of redoing the water pipeline that's coming down Veterans Memorial across mountain. So I'm meeting with them tomorrow, so I'll get a flavor of their schedule as well. But, we're cramming a lot in, in a period of time, which everybody felt like this is the best, if we're gonna do this, this is the time to do it. The weather would just accommodate with us a little, then hopefully, the dice that we roll are good. If not, then everything will just get a little delayed. We still are on that game plan where everything has to be in some sort of working order by St. Patty's Day. And then eventually, then the next big one is the Tour of Somerville. So all the benchmarks are still in place and they'll remain in place. So we'll see where that goes, and I'll provide an update on Ballers.
And then Olivia and I have a meeting scheduled with ABS to address some of the ongoing outstanding issues that we've been having for the duration of their contract. So their contract is up to May
31st.
May 31st.
Yeah.
So in short order, we'll be having a conversation with infrastructure and all you guys about what that looks like come June 1.
In addition to that, we did meet this month, and there is discussion about the garbage cans specifically on Division Street, being that they are wide open. I mean, forget the fact that they're also like rusted and, it's sort of time. But the fact that they're open just encourages more trash to fly out of it when it's super windy, and let's face it, it's always windy on Division Street. And then I know the folks at ABS were saying that it was challenging to move those garbage cans around. So that's something we're looking into as well as a committee. And then with Robert Wood Johnson, Beth is not here. She mentioned she would be logging in, but we've been talking about replacing that mural. I know we mentioned this last meeting. And now we're at the point of potentially making it a community project where we're celebrating or helping them to celebrate their 125-year anniversary, which is this year, of the hospital being in town. So we're still kind of going through some of those details. If we were to do a direct reprint of what is there, it's about $2,500 installed. So it's not a huge heavy lift. The hospital did pay for it originally, so I'm just trying to figure out what all of that is, but still working out those details. And then I did want to make sure everyone knows, since we've talked about it with our budget meeting, that the Main Street New Jersey grant is opening up. Officially, it will be open on March 7th. So we are preparing now to pre-write the narrative and get all the numbers and everything together so we can just open it up on March 7th and submit it. It's a first come, first serve grant. So if we don't do that, we won't get it. So I included on the programming updates in the design area that we'll be submitting for some of our design area projects, some new furniture, assisting with the arterial projects and a number of other things to satisfy that, since that 150,000 is part of our original budget plan.
Thanks.
Yeah.
on to promotions. I understand Becky is taking the KPI report.
Yep, I have a couple of numbers.
Do you wanna, yeah, sure.
I'll just use the keyboard to actually just click it and get that easier.
Okay. Just make sure you share the screen. Wait, share the screen first.
Oh, is it? Sorry.
On share screen.
My bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, wrong screen.
You mean,
No, you have to share right now you're seeing the entire screen.
Oh.
Go back to Zoom.
no, it's in Zoom.
Stop share at the top. Share button at the bottom. Sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry, everybody.
Okay, then share. There we go. And then you can present.
Okay, that was embarrassing.
Just, and you can, yeah, there we go. Click allow. There you go. Okay. Your screen sharing is paused. I don't know. Resume at the top. See the arrow? Click again. I don't know. I got nothing. Can somebody on Zoom let us know if you can see the screen or not? This is so dumb. After all these years, you should know how to use Zoom.
I can see the screen.
You
Oh,
can?
yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay, let's go. Okay, so. I wanna get rid of, whatever. Oh, no, I didn't wanna do that. Okay, sorry, so. I have some numbers here. Facebook. We did drop off in interactions, and as a reminder, interactions are likes, comments, shares, any like engagement with the post. And that was down 50% from December, but as a reminder, in December, we did do our 12 days of giveaways, which required people to comment on our posts. So December was like very high. So this is our more average than normal, but compared to the month before, it looks like it's dropped off a lot, but I promise in the grand scheme of things, it really hasn't. So we also had 190,020 total views. So that's how many times our posts were on somebody's screen. And 23% of those came from ads that we had purchased. So the ads are working, which is great. And there were 73,230 different accounts. So that's basically, you can think of that as how many people saw our posts on Facebook. We did gain 55 followers, so we're gaining steadily. Emails has been pretty consistent throughout the months. It's still, the 35.8% has been pretty consistent since we started, even when we were using Constant Contact, it's pretty much the same. Our unsubscribe rate is very low, which I'm very proud of. To me, that says we're putting out content that is people are liking, there's not spam, that's good. And that also includes the businesses as well. So they are seeing our emails. They're not clicking as much as we would like to. Ideally, open rate for the businesses would be 100%, but that's never going to happen. So I'm pretty happy with where we're at now.
Just letting you guys know, we don't actually see the presentation. We see canva.com.
Oh, well, thank you.
Go here. Yeah, click right this. And share. How about that?
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Okay, I'll let it sit here for like 30 seconds so you guys can see it. I apologize. I promise I know how to work things for the most part. All right. And then Instagram was also we had a pretty good month. For example, we had a increase from December when it comes to how many accounts reach, which was 21,831. And then our total views was 139,836, and that includes our reels and posts. And we also gained followers. We gained 83, so we are at 17.2. So we are currently as an influencer status, which is why we are going to start doing more reels and videos and trying to engage more with our community, which has so far been pretty good. And the first step of that was our influencers, which Leah can talk about because she did a really great job organizing all of it.
Yeah, so working with influencers has actually been pretty fun and easy to do. A lot of them are really responsive because they're really excited to get out and get more content. And they're relatively inexpensive, to be honest, when we look at how much we're paying for different types of advertisement, billboards, things like that. This is actually a great way to spend less money and then have a measurable report of how it did. Whereas some of the other ways we advertise, we don't get that kind of information. So this, we get really good information on how many people viewed, how many people followed us from that. And we chose influencers that were relatively local and also had a pretty big following. So even if they have around the same following as us, which we have about 17,000 followers. Gracie, who you see here, she has about 20,000 followers, but her 20,000 followers are not our 17,000 followers. So it opens it up to all of her followers to then come over to our page, which is fantastic. I believe that the NJ Hipsterbia, the other influencer we use, they have about 100,000 followers. They have a lot. But it all depends on the content that's being put out. You know, some videos do better than others. And we found that our videos with Gracie actually did a lot better, and she had those about 20,000 followers. So it was great, easy to do, and easy numbers to get from it. So we'd like to continue doing more advertising with influencers.
One number that's not on here that I found interesting, one of these videos, I believe it was the middle one, the total watch time was over 3 days. So this was maybe you know, a minute or so. The amount of people who watched it over and over again, the entire watch time of all of the viewers was over 3 days. So that's 3 days of people watching Somerville businesses. So that, if that kind of puts into perspective how influencing works and how it can benefit us, and how working together is really, really good.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
No problem.
Okay, this is me, but before we jump into this, I just wanted to mention, just the events that are listed here too. We have the chocolate walk on Thursday. We've been trying to keep this a little bit more low key, just because we don't want to overload anybody, and it's the first time that we've really done this, so we didn't want to get a little over our heads. But at the same time, make sure that we're doing some sort of promotion for this year. So we do have all 250 tickets sold currently, and then more people saying, oh, I forgot 2 people, and oh, I put 2 and I meant to put 10, you know, so we're just kind of saving a little bit of wiggle room for those extras that are going to come in. But for this, considering weather and all of the variables that go into doing events this time of year, we're seeing a good response. So we'll see how it goes. We'll obviously report for next month. And we're also including a lot of our Valentine's Day promotions with like gift ideas and date night ideas. And the goal of those is really to be a little bit more evergreen, so that if people look back through the feed, they see, oh, what are these Valentine's Day ideas for date night? And they can see that it wasn't a one-time promotion event happening on one day. They could go in and do the same thing on a different date night that has nothing to do with Valentine's Day. So the idea was to keep it relevant all the time, not just for Valentine's Day. So far so good on all of those. And then I did want to bring to everybody's attention, St. Patrick's Day sponsorship was a 3-year commitment, last year being year 1. This year is number 2. We are paid to date for that, including this year. Our sponsorship includes walking or having a float, which I'm not doing that this year. Maybe next year. My husband's actually an avid float maker. But I would encourage everybody to just put the date on your calendar if you can. If you're open for business, totally understood. But we will try to put together just at least a walking group, so that we can at least be represented. It's a community event. We are sponsoring it. We should be part of it. And so we're invited to walk in it.
I think we were on the stage last year, right?
I have no idea.
I think we were offering the space if whoever wanted to join would join. And I wasn't there, but I remember the email.
Well, just put it on your radar. We'll send more information as it comes. Obviously, it's February 10th, so we have a little bit of time. The parade itself is the 16th. It's a Sunday.
And
March
was
16th.
the sponsorship included tickets to their event, didn't it?
Yes, just like a dinner at the Elks Club.
Oh,
Am I saying that right?
No.
No, it's the other one, the night, the something
Librarians,
nights.
Knights of Columbus.
Oh,
Knights of
Yes, that,
Columbus.
Knights of Columbus, thank you, I said Elf. Yes, I don't remember how many tickets, 4 maybe?
Well, I mean, I will tell you, I went to that last year. I went with Natalie, and we presented a big check type
Yes.
of thing. So.
They don't want to do that, just
Yeah,
by the
well,
way.
you know, I know, but I mean, I think it's good to remind people where the funding comes from. That's my own point. It's not that I don't necessarily want to go to dinner. I did, it was fine. But I think that, you know, that if there's an opportunity to have a presence there, just to remind people where the money's coming from, it would be helpful.
Yeah,
And they were very appreciative of the DSA last year. They made it very clear who we were.
well, that's
Yeah.
good. I'm not sure about printing a big check, but we absolutely will be there and make sure that we'll have our logo, our proper logo on things and be a part of it. I actually was just going back and forth with Pat about a poster for it. So, you know, we'll definitely make sure that we're involved. But just want to make sure that's on your calendars. Hopefully you can come.
I have a question about the St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Yeah.
So that's not hosted by DSA.
No,
Okay, who's the organizer?
there's a special committee
Okay.
that manages that. It's independent, right? There's,
They're the Hibernians out of Knights of Columbus,
Mm.
which is a Irish chapter
Okay.
of, Irish stuff.
Oh.
Huge event. I'm glad we're not the ones putting it together. It's.
Yeah.
But my question is, because I think the time I went there, maybe it was last year, there was probably like at least 2,000 people on the streets, right? So there was a lot of foot traffic. Are merchants on Main Street somehow able to take advantage of those foot traffic? Or are we advising them how to take
There is
advantage?
absolutely no way for merchants to take, as a merchant.
Yeah, no, just
Been
like
in
a
the
retailer.
division for 10 years.
Uh-huh.
I can tell you that we are prepared to lose business
Oh,
for that day.
Oh, right.
Because no one is shopping. I mean, they may be eating, I don't know if they.
They
eating at-
definitely go out to eat and drink.
Yeah,
They don't go out
they
to shop on
to
that
bars,
day.
but they're not going
No.
to shop.
So it's more like a eat and
There is
drink.
nothing the DSA can do about that.
Oh.
People are there for a different reason, and that's fine. I mean, they can shop every single day.
Okay.
Yeah, there's other shopping events to
Yeah.
focus on the retailers, and I've mentioned this before too, there's events all year long, whether it's by us or other people that reflect different business types and, you know, are beneficial to some and not to others, and that's why offering a
Yeah.
bit of a balance is the way to go.
It's a good point, though. It does draw the most people into Somerville on one single day.
It does.
Right.
It is.
Right,
It's a lot of
so,
people.
yeah, it's not for every business, unfortunately.
I think
But
it's great.
it is
exposure.
and it isn't. I mean, if you advertise, I guess it's residual.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a residual, it's a good community event, it
Yeah.
still brings people still see
Yeah.
your stores, I mean, if the weather's bad and then they pop in just, to warm up, and they're like, oh, well, we didn't know you have this and that, or whatever, we'll be back, so it's still good advertising for the
Yeah.
district. And it's a good community event to have, but it's not something that we need to advertise as a shopping, a service event at the end of it.
Well, if it's more for like beneficial for the food and beverage, I just want to make sure like they want to take advantage, they know.
Well, I don't think they
are
need to
take
do
advantage.
anything about that, because people are gonna go drinking anyway, they don't need
Oh,
to
yeah.
advertise that, yeah.
No need to advertise.
Okay, so I'm just gonna jump into the advertising plan because since we officially were adopted with our budget last month, I just wanted to share with everyone what our thoughts are in working with the budget that we have put together and what our recommendations are for doing that. Can you move just a little? Just, yeah, there you go, minimize screen. So our goals for this year and further to the stakeholder meeting, I had mentioned that although the number of people visiting the district has increased, the amount of times they come has reduced, which is why it's shown numbers going down because they're not coming as often as they have previously. So one of our goals with our promotional plans, as well as obviously everything that we're doing throughout the year, is to increase the number. So right now it's averaging about 5.5 times people come to the district, so we're hoping to get them to come at least one more. Just at least one more. It's reasonable. So 6.5 to 7 times, hopefully by the end of the year, hopefully those numbers are reflected. And we'll be measuring things along the way to determine whether or not it's working or not working or whatever the case may be. Obviously positioning the town, vibrant place to be. is always part of our goals. And then strengthening the brand identity, so folks know who we are, and understand that we as an organization, as well as the town, have stories to tell. Well, I guess I'm just gonna make you click because my clicker's not working. I like my clicker. So some of our strategies to be able to execute those goals, coming up with some ideas, and a lot of these things we'll be discussing a little bit more in depth in our next promotions team meeting. So we won't go into detail here and ideas and all that. Write them down so that we can discuss them at the promotions meeting for more specifics. So this is more high level. So we're gonna try to work on strategies to incentivize coming back. So, hey, you came to town 3 times, come for a 4th time and get, you know, something. It could be something from the DSA, like a t-shirt, or it could be something related to a specific business, you know, whatever that is, we can incentivize getting them to come back. Just like how we pull all these plans together, target with data, right? Understanding who these people are, why they're coming, why they're only coming a few times, whatever the case may be, and then continuing to use the data to inform us as to what to do next and how things are working or not working. Making sure our messages are consistent, which is something that in my time here, I've seen has not really necessarily been the case. So moving forward, making sure that all of whatever our taglines are, our messages, et cetera, are the same for the most part. So people can always rely on the same thing. It's like going into like a Target or a Starbucks, whether you're here or you're in Alaska and you go, I don't even know if there's Alaska Targets. I'm saying it, I'm just assuming. You're always going to go and you're going to get the same experience, right? So our messaging also needs to be the same thing so that people can rely on the fact that they can always get the same experience when they come here. And they love it and they want to come back for it. And then focusing on our content themes to use our events as the catalyst, not so much as the whole thing, right? Getting folks to come because Ladies' Night is wonderful, but now you should also come back for our street fair, and now you should come back for this, you know, even if they just attended the events, they would be coming back more times and we would be achieving our goal. So the catalysts, the events as catalysts is going to be really, really important. And again, the storytelling component, making sure we share the humans that exist. We're not machines, including us. We need to remember or remind people that we are all humans. And I think people love connecting with that, especially more now than ever before. So these are what we're proposing as our primary channels. Going through traditional media. So if you know, I think I mentioned already before, Star Ledger is no more. They're shifting to this format as physical print. If you're interested in looking at this magazine, you're welcome to do so. But they've offered a nice package of Jersey's Best and NJ.com together. We also will be working with Edible Jersey because we would do each one of their 4 seasonal issues. They'll put us on the destination guide at no additional charge, which is really great, especially with the food component, right? New Jersey Family, they have lots of different things, but being that we have only so much in our budget, they have a dedicated email option for a few $100s. So we'll be working with them on the family component of it and sharing to families events that are going on, you know, why it's a great place to be, all that fun stuff. And then maintaining our relationship with Tappan too. Out of home is our billboard that we're already doing, our local signage, our posters, all of those things. And then as we mentioned in the budget planning, creating printed mailers. Now those specifically would be in the form of an impact report, like a kind of a 2-page newsletter, or it could be shorter depending on what we end up working out. That goes out to the residents and says, hey, look, these are all the great things we're doing in your downtown. This is your backyard. You should come hang out because there's 12,000 people that are right here that could be coming again and again and again. And I think someone today said something to you, right, this morning, that lady was like, oh, we feel disconnected, right? Someone said, I've been living here for however many years and I feel really disconnected. And I know that's a comment that you've shared too. So really kind of letting them know what's going on and that they can access this information just like anyone else is going to be really impactful. Here, experiential advertising, we had talked about the experience of being here and creating like on a window somewhere, like a vinyl that's, you know, butterfly wings or I don't know, something along those lines. So that comes into play. We'll likely determine this based on acquiring another grant, like an art grant or something that we can get throughout the year to be able to achieve this, unless we can figure out how to make it work within our design budget. But for the most part, this may be something that may wait until later on in the year. And then we have our digital channels as we already are using our social media, not just the accounts as they stand, but also doing, continuing to do advertising with that. And then shifting a little bit and not spending a lot of money to doing some Google ads. So when people do search, things to do around me, it just helps bring it to the top. I've actually done Google ads for some small businesses in the past, and they've actually proven to be very effective for not a lot of money. And then as we build the video programming, we'll include YouTube as part of the locations where our ads can be seen with Google. Email, it's always great. And then influencers, like we talked about, working with the 2 influencers that we did has proven that it's a good lucrative method. So we would love to continue doing that. And the fun
Yeah.
stuff. Yes.
So I think one of the idea I propose to outreach to some of the residents, whether it's Edge or Avalon or Station House, is to have a little coupon book, highlight the different businesses and offer some kind of experience or taste or, styling to try out at that store, and we can distribute at all the downtown store, send it to all their mailboxes. I don't know if we have any follow-up ideas on that.
That's something we could talk about at the promotions team level. So we'll go into those details a little bit when next time we chat. Because then we'll determine exactly what kinds of costs are involved with that and how it fits into the rest of the allocations. But print materials is part of this line item right here. So that would be part of either something like that or somewhere else that we can make it fit. So this is just a reminder of what's in the actual budget document that we all said yes to last month. With these specific numbers as what things cost, yes. And so these are lots of numbers. You have a copy of this in your stuff. If you're not looking at it already. So the costs for all of these are outlined here. And adding a little bit more into our influencer bracket. Just because, Leah explained that it's not very expensive. I think they were $500 for their fee, but we're also paying for their meal. So if they're having food, I know Sabre gave them a lot of food.
Yeah. Yeah, some of them, yes, some of them didn't require any payment for the food that they consume, so. It depends on the influencer, but yeah, I would say the range that we have found has been like $500, $600. And yeah,
There's some that charge a lot,
There
and
are
obviously,
some.
we're gonna just steer away from that for now, and then we'll see with next year's budget if we want to put more toward it. But this just allows us to work with at least 1 to 2 influencers pretty much a month at this point, right? To give us a little bit more flexibility on there. So that being said, these costs here, it's just shy of 100,000. And what am I looking at? Did I do my numbers right? I calculated these numbers so many times. The total budget just shy of the cost here. So, my thought is just a pull from the website category, because we have a lot of money in the website category. I don't think we're gonna need all 10,000 of that. So pulling just a little bit from that to just allow us to cover these costs, and this is for the year.
No question. The magazine, is that, I might have missed it, the 15,000, is that included in the NewJersey.com part? Okay.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good package, because you have the print, and then you have the online as well, so. And then again, it's for the year. So that's where we're at with that.
That's a really good rate for medical Jersey.
It is, right?
Yeah,
I was
I
surprised,
feel
but,
like that's half off.
well, it's discounted because we're doing all 4 issues.
Gotcha.
If you do one, it obviously goes up. So I always recommend to folks when you do print to always do as many as you can, because again, it goes back with that consistency comment. Making sure that you're always part of it. One ad is going to do nothing for you, but ads with local signage and mailings and social media and et cetera, all of them together create that comprehensive package to actually be effective.
I have another question. How do we appear on NewJersey.com? Like what is posted to there?
You mean the publicity component?
Yeah.
We pitch PR or press releases. That's different. Doesn't cost us anything but time, and we may or may not get featured.
Well, no, just the $15,000 that we pay for NewJersey.com. How does that benefit us? How do we,
Well, it's ads. It's all advertising. That's the benefit, the advertising, and then because
Were
most
they
of it.
banner ads or what kind of ads are they?
Yeah.
It's all digital.
Yeah, there's the banner ads on the website.
Is there any way to collect data from how that might benefit us? It's just that $15,000 is a lot compared to all of the other ones, especially if we now know that, what is it called? The
Well, this-
influencer marketing work?
This is also a lot,
Yeah,
Right?
oh, yeah.
and then this one is also a lot, and I don't get any numbers from this one.
Hmm.
I can't measure this one at all.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a billboard.
It's
I know
assumed
tap
that-
into, people love, it's local and, but NewJersey.com is a little bit wider, so I just don't know how we're able to collect any data to see if that benefits us at all.
In here, it's difficult. I was trying to find it like an ad that,
Well, for the magazine, I imagine that.
that's a little bit
the-
difficult to measure.
The only people that will reach is the target audience or the audience that might not be our target audience. Cause I don't know who still gets the magazine subscriptions and whatnot. I imagine it's, people that are a little bit more, old school with things. But, the NewJersey.com part, that's the one I was wondering about.
But I think first, my comment is we shouldn't be discounting the old school people that get the subscription.
Oh, I'm not
because these are
discounting
the
that.
people with the discretionary income, right? These are all the people that are well off one last time without, right, with growing up kids. They're the people with discretionary income ready to spend that income. So these are the people that we want in our town. Because the digital advertising is good, but it's really targeting a certain audience, right? We're not targeting anyone over a certain age. I mean, they are not, right?
No, but I mean, I think you could really use that measure to say anything and say, oh, your target audience is a 30-year-old that wants to shop for shoes or something like that, or go out drinking. It's a pretty wide range, but I don't imagine that a lot of older people are still remaining in this town. I don't think as much as it was maybe 15 years ago.
We do have a large.
Yes.
older
We still
population.
do?
Yes.
The average age like 42 here.
It's slightly difficult to measure because some of those folks still don't really use the cell phone, so we
Mm.
can't, they're not part of the placer data.
Right.
And then they don't interact always with the social media component, so
Right.
that hence the mailings, hence the print. The digital component is much heavier because obviously that's where most of our people are and that's where we're getting the best response. And from the surveys and all the data we've pulled already, we're seeing that that's where people are getting things the most.
Mm.
But again, like Natalia was saying, we don't want to ignore that, and since there's no
No, yeah.
ledger, this is the alternative option.
But also, I think to me, the beauty of NewJersey.com and Jersey's Best is that we are casting a wider net, right? I mean, Somerville local is great, but we are really at we're at Central Jersey, right? We're within 30-40 minutes of a lot of major cities. My sister's in-laws live in Metuchen or Edison. They come here at least twice a month to have dinner. They've always done this, right? As they do that, they also walk around, they shop, right? You would wanna get those people, and if we just only advertise locally, they would never know. I mean, those people.
No, 100%. And the fact that this is included in the whole package for NewJersey.com, it makes it even better. But if we were paying for it separately, I would probably, I don't know if I would think that it would make sense. I mean, I would ask how many of you are subscribed to one of those, like how many of you might
It's
have.
not a
that?
subscription, everybody,
Is that something
no,
that you-
everybody gets one. It's like everybody,
Oh, it's
Yeah.
yeah,
the,
it's part of your.
that's why it's part of the New Jersey. I see.
Yeah, it's part of the NJ.com.
Yeah.
That's the one you get like at the businesses, right? Like they have them just for free, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
Okay.
I always grab one.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Mhm.
I'd be more curious to know if we have any statistics from the tap into ads.
He did. I asked him for them and he never looked at them before. That was the first time that he's ever seen his own numbers from his page.
Oh.
And is that something?
It was like 300,000 views or something. I don't have the exact number.
300,000 views?
300,000 views.
What period of time?
It was whatever the last ad was at the time. No, I don't remember what it was. I think it was something in December.
Yeah, well, that's more than I
No, it was
expected.
before. It was before. Yeah, I think it was sometime in December. He didn't give me the.
I never see tap into ads.
It's funny. I don't,
They don't display on mobile is the problem.
but I do
Oh,
see Tap
really?
Into often on a social media feed. It does
Yeah,
pop up.
Comes up
quite
on
often.
Facebook all the time.
And I think people do watch it. I think
Mhm.
people do look at it.
Okay.
Well,
And
I know people read the articles, because when there's comments in the article that may not be completely accurate, we get it wrong.
Oh, yeah, that's true, because he's printed some incorrect information about our events as well, because he pulled from last year or something, yeah,
All
so.
right, well, maybe we can do a deeper dive
Yeah.
on what the publications report to us and what Google Analytics says
Mhm,
it's doing for our traffic, like at the next committee meeting.
Yes, we can do.
And can I ask you really quick too? I mean, part of that too, I think is we need to do, what is the print component, and what's the digital component of these contracts? So we signed contracts for all these guys already, you're already signed?
Not everybody, a lot of these aren't really contracts anyway, so, this, not yet, we're just about there, this one I haven't done it yet either.
Yeah.
So everything, this one and this one are print mags, and then everything else is digital, other than obviously this would be,
Mhm.
signage is print, mail newsletters is print also, so this is more us just taking the lead on it.
And edible Jersey, are we doing the farmer's market too? Are we kind of connecting us to the farmer's market in that print stuff?
Not that we're paying for, but we can connect with them and see if maybe they'll do a co-op. with
Well, I'm
us.
just thinking because it does affect Main Street.
Yeah.
And edible Jersey, because it is printed, everyone kind of knows this as a restaurant town, but they might not know the farmer's market. It might build up the Sundays, so it might be something we can partner more with printable ads to show people what we're doing.
Don't they have a market issue? I feel like they have a farmer's market. Maybe I'm thinking of something else, but I can look at that. Yeah, yeah.
The farmer's market.
Don't they have like an edible Jersey? They have a
They
farmer's
always
market
do.
issue where they talk about all the markets in the state or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so we'll, definitely including that as a component for sure.
One last question before we
Yeah.
move on.
Yeah.
The 287 billboard.
Mhm.
Are there different kind of packages that we can look at? I mean, do we have to stay at $16,000?
We don't. So Randy and I have been talking a little bit about potentially negotiating them down by having other businesses involved and working with them. So this is probably the highest. I feel like we're grandfathered into this as well. So I don't think it can go much lower unless we negotiate with other businesses being involved. It would go higher, I think, if we start talking to them about that. But there hasn't been a contract from what I understand. He sent me one recently to look at, so that if we want to commit to working with them, we would do that.
Or are you concerned because there's no numbers that we can deal off of
Well,
that?
there is no numbers that we can look at. I don't know how many people see that driving and how good, I mean, it's a good background advertising because you see something out of the corner of your eye, I've seen it a couple of times. There's really not enough time with you zipping, on the 287 to really see when is the event happening or what are the details or what the website that it's sending it to, right? So
It's a branding tool.
that's what I'm saying, it's
Yeah, I
just
was
a
gonna say,
background advertising.
Right,
Yeah.
other than a big bang, that's all you wanna see, right? I mean, I
No, I
just saw the
agree.
one that
I
they're
agree.
doing in Hillsborough right now for Flemington. Which,
I
well,
did
you're
see
on
that.
206 and you just get boom.
Right.
Like, you think you're driving into Flemington, and you're driving into Somerville.
Mhm.
You're like, well, like a boom, like, so it was a nice effect, seeing, for them anyway, it caught a lot
I
of
think
people's
it's nice.
eyes.
I kinda like
just
seeing
was
Yeah,
us
like,
there.
right now it's Happy Valentine's Day, love Somerville, and that's it.
Oh, that's cool.
That's all I put up there, because you have about 3 seconds,
Yeah,
and there's not much more opportunity
Yeah,
there,
it's
so,
well
we'll see how that goes, and I know.
spent.
I know Randy's mentioned too that, hasn't really been fully utilized, so we're gonna try to.
That the banner truck was going around today with all the advertisements.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah.
Any chance you saw ours on it by chance?
Yes.
You did?
It looked great.
Okay, great.
Good.
Thank you.
We had no idea.
We had no
Trying to
idea.
take a video, but not looking at my camera settings, it was stuck on camera.
Aw.
So I wanted to present the video to everyone to see it,
But
but
it was just still.
it was just a still. So it
That's
was
okay.
only glow.
Okay.
But it was great because it
Yeah.
was, everything on it was downtown Somerville.
Yeah,
And they had said to me because of the snow, then you'll probably get an email coming Wednesday. Kindly gonna push us to Thursday,
Nice.
because, being that no one may be out to see it,
Yeah.
because of weather conditions, it's just gonna move us over.
It's good
Yeah,
they're
it looked
flexible.
really great.
It was free.
Yeah.
So we didn't say no. We just said, yeah, okay, sure. Will we commit to doing that moving forward? Probably not. Cause what, like the actual pricing, I think is $1,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's another
Yeah.
thing that it's hard to measure, so.
Yeah,
it's
yeah. I
helpful.
want to do less of things that we can't measure if we can.
I think they're willing to work with us and the town. When I say us, I mean us as a town. And I think if we came together, we can negotiate something. Cause I said they come from a small business background and they get it. You know, with small businesses being able to afford that type of advertising,
Right,
and they're willing to work with us.
right. You can, thank you. You can stop the share. Thank you for sharing here. Stop share. There we go. Okay, that is all from promotions for now.
Thank you.
I mean, there's a million things in promotions, but it's okay. You're all like.
The January spending reports, financial statements and all the rest are in your packet. There for your digestion at your leisure. If you have any questions, please let us know. Either myself or Natalia or Olivia would be happy to answer any questions. Under the heading of economic vitality, I saw a couple of businesses finally got their signs up today or recently. The Osprey Nest sign is up and looks terrific.
Oh, good.
Al Badawi finally got a sign up, which is awesome. Very exciting. Now people will know what it is. And I think Olivia had some updates on upcoming new businesses in town.
Yes, I am sharing the list that Navleen is so kindly sharing with me because we have some, businesses coming into play. I have started a conversation with the folks that are potentially, they're coming into 2 Division Street. I believe it's some sort of art gallery, but I asked them for more information, so we'll find out. So 181 Main Street yoga is,
Yoga service.
thank you, yoga service. Help me. And that's about it on the others. I don't have all full details yet, but we know that they're coming, so.
Are you, yes? Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and I saw
Friend town.
the windows at 140 are papered over. So the CBD store is fully gone.
Yep, so
Things are happening.
moving and shaking.
Another barbershop.
Another barbershop.
I gotta wait a month for an appointment at the usual place, at either place, so I think we might need it.
Also, Leah, you want to speak on the photo shoots, just quick?
Yes. So the photo shoots have been going good, slowly but surely so far. We have 22 responses to our survey of the photo shoots, and we've gotten to 14 so far, which is great. And we have more planned we don't have any planned for this week because it's a busy week with Valentine's and Galentine's, but next week I'm gonna reach out because you wanted a picture, so we're gonna get you, yeah, you.
Get the confirmation.
Yeah, so I'm gonna confirm by the end of this week to make sure that everyone's still available for what they had previously confirmed that they were available for, because sometimes things change and we're not able to get to them, but we've been able to do 14 so far, and I think this has been honestly a great way just to get me in front of some businesses so I can start to learn everybody, which is wonderful. So yeah, it's been great so far, and people are really receptive. I'm hoping that we get more businesses. We are adding more dates. I just added a couple more dates, but we want to continue through March as well to make sure any business that wants a professional photo can get one. I think it just comes down to getting the word out. I just don't think a lot of people are reading their emails, so if you guys talk to other businesses, let them know that we're doing this, and I can even text you the link to where they can sign up for it if that's easier. So just let me know.
Good idea.
And that brings to inviting our board.
Yes, yes. So we also want to do new board headshots for anyone that needs a new headshot for our website. So we were gonna set that up to do on Division Street here. Racy's, she has like a studio where we can take pictures there, and it's right here on Division Street, so we thought it'd be easier to set that up. So I'm probably going to be sending out an email soon to ask for availability, so just be on the lookout for that. It's gonna be your own shots, it's not gonna be a group shot, so we can kind of set it up as you're available too, as long as our photographer is also available. So I might give maybe 2 or 3 days of options and see what you guys can come for.
Can I combine my business shot with my board?
Yeah, we could,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, some of you already have a shot on the website, and that's fine, we could just keep that, but if you don't have one,
I don't have one.
you don't have one, and you don't have one either, that's what I thought. And I don't know, Kevin, if you wanna update yours, next to the American flag, I don't know if you wanna change that, or.
I have a new flag.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you want it, great, it's available to you. Jeff with Mondlock is like awesome, so he's just being really, really gracious. So if you want it, great. If you don't, totally cool. So you might need one.
I do.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, it's a really, really fun project. And just a couple little things. We are trying to do the best that we can to update the business list. As we all know, things have changed quite a bit. So now we're at the point where we're gonna just start calling people. Because we've reached out as much as we can. We stop in, we do what we can, but now it's just gonna be just going through and 10 people phone call. Hey, DSA, my name is, this is who we are. Do you know we exist? Just to kind of get some more of those folks who just are not engaged at all also on board a little bit.
I have a question. The emails you guys send to businesses, are they the same, like they look like the promotional?
They are a little bit promotional, but we've shifted them to be more informative, so.
Cause I think,
marketing tips and all that. in there.
yeah, I think that some people might not understand that it's coming in to talk to them directly as business owners, and they think that it might be just like the general emails that go out to, visitors or whoever signed up for them. But yeah, maybe that's.
That's actually a very good point. I think maybe change the subject line so that
We
it's,
started.
so it's clear that you are addressing the business owners versus just a general promotional email.
Also,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just me, but I have Outlook that I use and I am signed up for some of those emails, but sometimes they just don't open right, like with all the like yellow background and like how it scrolls. It has, sometimes half of that email is like blocked off and it doesn't let you. I think if it was just more of like a formal like email that it looked and it said, hey, here's some things that you should know as a business owner, something a little bit more easy going rather than like something that looks better, they might be more open to reading some of that. But when I see it, I see like as a business or promotional email, I might not be as inclined to read it. Just putting it that way.
Okay, we'll look into that.
I know we did start changing the subject lines because we had heard that from Natalia and a bunch of other businesses that just the subject line business submission, a lot of people weren't opening it. So we did start changing it to kind of represent what's more in it. And as for like the yellow background, that was I believe when we were using Constant Contact, which wasn't as nice as MailChimp. So we have updated it so it should be. I believe it also works better on mobile and like all platforms. So I think that I've gotten some good feedback from businesses saying that like the new emails are much more informative. We've also cut down on words because I think I tended to make things way too wordy because I guess I just like to talk to people, but
We still have words, but now the words are more.
they're better words. We're using better words that are more direct and more, for the businesses. So, but any advice or any like suggestions, please let me know because I would love to have the businesses reading the emails. We work very hard on them and I think they would be very good for them to read.
Do they have to sign up for this or do we just send, just have their business email list and we just send them out?
It's better practice for someone to sign up or we sign them up, but if we have like mass putting emails in, we have to get approvals and then we could jeopardize not even being able to send emails at all.
I gotcha.
There's like these rules or whatever with emailing, it's just frustrating. And sometimes it lands us in junk boxes, which is also annoying, so.
Yeah. One other thing I would say is as much as I appreciate you guys trying to put as much as you can in one email so that you're not sending a dozen emails, I think sometimes it gets lost. Because people may not realize, and I've heard that from people saying, oh, I thought it was just a vehicle submission, I didn't realize that it was also a sign up for the headshots, for example, right? So I think it pays to sign separate emails maybe for major things.
I think I did a separate email initially for the photo shoot.
I just an
Yeah.
example, just
But
I'm
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
in general.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Can we get a copy of those emails too, so we know what's been sent to the businesses and we do interact with them, then we can update them, what's going on.
Yeah, we'll forward you one.
Yeah, I'd like to get them.
And then just finally on this section, we've just been getting, and I know Kevin has too, he mentioned to me the other day at the borough, we've just been getting a lot of requests for looking for open space.
Yeah.
So I've talked about it before and haven't gotten a chance to get to it, but I really would love, if anybody, maybe you can help me on this one, I just having specific information that we could share on our website about what the vacant spaces are in town. Maybe like broker contact, I don't know if there's like a,
I mean, Tim
A
DeLucia
realtor?
is pretty much
Yeah,
99%
mentioned that too.
of
Okay.
everything, so I don't know.
okay.
It's right there on his own page.
Okay, I just to make sure that, you know, they're the best person and they're willing to help us so that we can put the listings up on
Have
our
you been in touch
website.
with him?
No, not yet. That's the only person that I've heard so far. So, and Chaz just
Well,
gave me
he
that
is-
on Friday.
He's correct, he's about 99%. If you ask him, he's gonna give you all the information, because he wants you to help him.
Sure, of
Right.
course,
rent
right.
Places.
That's what I figured. Okay, all right, cool. So I'll definitely get in touch with them tomorrow then. We're gonna put a website page up because
You have his cell?
ridiculous. You sent it to me.
You have his
You sent
cell?
it to me?
Yeah, it's on a sign.
All right.
Yeah, cool, thank you. Okay, well, that's it, but yes. Somerville's in demand. It's like too much to keep up with sometimes, so. I know, bring it in. Okay, that's it for you, babe.
There was something on here about a March midterm. Is that
Oh, yeah.
for us or is that for?
It's mostly for the businesses. Board is always welcome to come and represent, so if you're free and you can come, awesome.
Can we set a location? for this?
Yeah,
Cafe Picasso.
Picasso's
I
this
have
time.
to check on the video probably.
Do they have,
Probably most likely.
do they have mixers there?
Did you know? No, it's just for the businesses and property owners and stuff, just to get everybody together. Yeah.
So it's kind of similar setup as the annual stakeholder meeting?
Yeah, more casual.
More casual.
No presentation, just getting everybody together and just connecting.
I want to say that was really well done. You
Thank
did a
you.
great job.
Thank you.
And,
That's all you.
yeah, it was really good. And I feel like people feel safe to talk about things, which is great.
Yeah, people definitely spoke up, which is nice. At the annual meeting.
Was there any more of a director's report, or you kind of covered a lot of ground?
The organization point, really. So I could just jump, you want me to jump in, go?
Let's keep it rolling.
Okay, so further to that date, of March 19th. I didn't put it on the actual updates, I did put it in the email, I believe. Main Street America is coming to New Jersey via Zoom to do board training, so. There are 2 dates that they'll be here, if you are participating in any, oh, there it is, thanks. It's on the back. I'm doing too many things. So you could choose either one of these dates, you would not need to do both. It's a lunch and learn type of session, and then there's an evening one, based on your time. You would be participating with other boards throughout the state of New Jersey. So it's just exclusive to us, but it is for everyone. So I highly, highly, highly recommend joining that. If you're able to do one or the other, please let me know and I will sign you up. It's really just helpful to understand, Main Street processes, what to do as a board member, all of that. So it's really important to follow up with that as you can. I did connect with the art department at the school. They love the idea of having sort of like a downtown museum where we would have the kids' artwork on the windows. So there's just some logistics that would have to go into doing that, including, paying for it. And just getting the artwork and what have you. So really just gonna continue connecting with the schools and keeping that relationship going until we come up with a plan. I have been going to the Tour of Somerville meetings. There's another one tomorrow. It is the 80th year, so they're hoping to make a little bit more of a hoopla about it. Casey mentioned to me, as when I talked to her, she's the woman that organizes the actual race itself, that she never really had a lot of communication through the DSA in previous years, so there may have been some disconnects. I don't know any of that. All I know is that I'm not gonna do that this time. So we're gonna be working with her so that any promotional effort that we can help will be worked into the value of our sponsorship. So rather than, a whole bunch of money, we can incorporate whatever the value of our promotions are for them too. Which they seem very receptive to. And then also I'm just sort of helping them with figuring out what can go in a swag bag that's worth something. So, they're proud of it. So keeping it alive, it's may not be great for some businesses, again, same thing in the district, but it's a very long-standing tradition and, good for the town. Reminder, Main Street Conference is first week of April. If anyone is interested to attend, there are still spots available to register. There is a fee to register. New Jersey paid for 2 of our fees. And I have a speaker rate, which is heavily reduced. So that was very helpful because it's like $500 to attend on a regular rate. Yeah, that should be fun. There is a volunteer rate. So if you are interested in joining for a day or other sessions you want to attend, please let me know. It's well worth it if you want to learn some things.
Philadelphia.
It's in Philadelphia. If it was in Seattle, I probably would not so freely be like, you should come. But it's definitely well worth the trip. And really just to call attention to it, the sponsorship kit Lee and I have been working on a little bit more detail. We're pretty much done with the content. Now we're just kind of making it look nice to send out to the public, but we are gonna be rocking and rolling with that. And I think we talked to Bridgewater Commons Mall today. We're excited to collaborate with us, and then vice versa. We may consider some barter work, promotion here, promotion there, working together, which is cool. So, working on getting some more money in the door to cover all these fun things. So that's about it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Any other open items from anybody?
I have
just
one
want-
other, one question, Olivia, under the material division project.
Oh, yes.
kickoff is February 18th, is that in person or Zoom, then are we?
It's a Zoom. It would be the design team that's attending. They just gave me this date, so I put it on here. I will send a message out to the design committee to see if anybody can attend.
Okay.
I know design team is scheduled, I think, for this week, Thursday. I can't vision. Is it Wednesday? I can't see the schedule in my head. So we can either, and I'll send it to everybody, we can either do the 18th instead and just have the arterial kickoff meeting then, or we can just do both, so.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I checked my work schedule. I can go to that.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, it will be Zoom. Yes, so the arterial project is currently estimated to start on the 18th as a kickoff meeting. So if anyone, we're gonna have the design committee sort of be the steering committee here, but if anyone on the board wants to participate in that, you're welcome to join. We'll send you the info.
Well, I just wanted to ask, from your presentation from advertising, were you asking for a motion for $2,000 to move from website to influencer, or are you just saying this is what you want to do? Are we asking for a motion?
Do we need to do that? That's a good question.
I mean, this is all, we're guessing at where everything's gonna shake out over the course of a year.
Oh, yeah, we don't have to decide on that now because we have enough money to work with now,
Just
but
didn't know if you were asking.
just in anticipation of what the costs are, we're just a little shy of what I'm proposing. So to cover that, that's the suggestion. I don't think we need to decide on it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like maybe by the 6-month point, we can evaluate where we are, spend versus budget, and
Because I think we do that internally anyway without a motion, but
right.
it's just about how we're gonna announce it.
Yeah.
There's just one more thing too. Do we put this director's report on the website and put it up digitally and all that kind of jazz? Do you put that out?
Not yet. We actually were very behind on any of the content. So I was starting to put some of it up
Okay.
from last year. I think I'm up to June of last year.
But if we do,
I
at the
can.
end, let's make 2025 the year.
Say 2024.
Yeah. So I'm just.
I'm not there yet.
I'm just saying, we're going digital.
Oh, yeah, we're making 24 a year of progress. Thank you. Oh, man, why is it so, it's really hard for me to just do the shift. Last year was a lot easier.
Well, I mean, if we're posting it, then we can change it.
Yeah, I wrote 2024 here too. Look at that.
Yeah.
So, geez. Thank you.
Okay, I just have a couple of things from the borough side.
Please.
So, using arterial design, we had the federal government look at the design that they had done. It looks like we're gonna apply for about $1.5 million grant to primarily focus on sidewalks, because that's been the area of concern. When Olivia was at the council meeting, one of the councilwomen, they were very adamant that we look at that. We did roll it back to where the borough was going to look at that more than the DSA was going to look at it. So, you know, but I'll probably need arterials help, as we move forward. The federal grants are difficult, so I don't want to mislead anybody. But that's what we're doing on that. When we had the consultants in last time, parking was a major issue. So we finally initiated a meeting on the borough side with Randy, myself, Olivia, and other stakeholders from the borough. But it will get into a little more of the DSA, because the borough is only concerned with, you know, telling people what to do with parking is exactly that. Is we like to kind of hear more from the merchants at some point, once we kind of get our act together from the administrative side. And really to have some community reach out to talk a little more about parking. So it will fall a little on this table, but it's not gonna be our responsibility. So I assure you, Chaz and Olivia, I know what direction you were provided, but we will certainly try to keep it more of a team approach. And then the governing body is gonna be introducing a budget next month, and it's got $100,000 in there for cameras for Main Street. So, you know, hopefully the council will be able to shepherd that budget through the rest of the council. So those are my updates.
Awesome.
If there's nothing else from the board, we can, love to hear from, there's so many people from the public on the Zoom tonight. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
Years.
Any questions? Looks like a no.
I'll take it as a no. If there's nothing else, we can adjourn the meeting. We need a vote to adjourn?
Need a vote. All in favor? Anybody else that wants to stay?
7:07.
Good night.
Wow. Stop recording. Stop recording.